So this is the story of a fisherman named John who has set out to fish with his small boat. However, shortly after leaving, something strange happens to him. A fog spreads all around in the sea and he can't see anything for miles. He survives in this fog for quite some time and then suddenly spots a boat in the distance, but there seems to be no person inside that boat. He wants to check it out now. So he ties his boat securely to the larger boat and goes inside to check. Upon entering, he is surprised to find that there is no person in this boat. However, everything else seems completely normal. Even the food is fresh. All signs of humans being there were present, but there were no humans. Now John tries to start the boat, but he realizes that the engine is broken. He is astonished that such a large boat is alone in such a vast sea, not far away at all. He tries to look around to see if the owner of this boat might be nearby and perhaps went fishing with his small boat, but the fog was so thick that he couldn't see anything. John then goes back inside the control room and turns on the radio to send a message to headquarters that there is a boat stuck here in the sea. If anyone is listening, please respond. After saying all this, he decides to go back to his own boat, and as soon as he comes up, he is shocked to see that his boat has disappeared from there, although he had tied it securely. Just as he realizes his own boat is gone, another strange thing happens to him. All the fog clears away. The sky becomes completely clear, and the weather outside is night. He has now returned to that boat. Since he himself is stuck in this boat, he tries to find his way using the map and tries to figure out where he is and which way he needs to go to get back home. There was another problem. The engine of this boat was also broken. He needed to save his life, so he began trying to fix the engine. He searches for a toolbox on this boat, and after a while of effort, he manages to fix the engine. This was a significant achievement for him. Now the boat was working. He could take this boat anywhere, but he didn't understand the way. So he contacts the control room again, but no one responds to him. Then the poor guy goes back up, and as soon as he comes up, he feels the need to go to the washroom. Since no one was watching, instead of going down, he decides to do his business in the sea, but just then, someone suddenly pushes him from behind, causing him to fall. He could have drowned in the water, but by grabbing the railing, he narrowly saves his life. The pressure of the wind was so strong that it became difficult for him to come back. He was about to go down, but he doesn't lose hope and manages to get back inside the boat while holding onto the railing. He hadn't completed his work in that entire area, so he goes down to the toilet. Someone slams the door shut loudly. John doesn't pay much attention to this because he thinks it might have closed due to the pressure of the wind, but as soon as he finishes and turns around, he finds the door locked from the outside. Now he tries to open this door from everywhere. He even tries to unlock it with a coin from his pocket, but that doesn't work. His mind is becoming agitated. He starts to feel that someone is on the boat playing a dirty game with him and torturing him. He starts shouting loudly, "Please, whoever you are, open this door. I didn't come here with any intention of theft. Believe me, I just came to check." Despite saying all this, no one responds to him. Now, whatever he had to do it himself. He opens the cabinet and sees something shocking. There was blood inside. This was terrifying, but he doesn't pay attention to it and tries to use scissors to open the door, but fails again. Now the boat was still running. John had disembarked. Suddenly, he sees a window above. Looking out of that window, he sees a large boat approaching in the distance. He notices that the direction of the large boat is directly towards his boat. If the large boat comes here, it will destroy his boat, and he will die. To save his life, he wants to signal the large boat, but how can he when he is trapped? He takes off his shirt and signals the large boat, but no one on the large boat sees him. Now, he had to save his life somehow by stopping his boat. Otherwise, the large boat would destroy it. Just then, he sees a rope above that window and gets the idea to stop the boat with this rope. He ties the rope and throws it outside to stop the boat, but something bad happens to him there. The rope gets tangled with the fan of his own boat, and it gets caught around his neck from inside the bathroom. His neck was about to go. He could have died, but he barely manages to free himself from the rope with the help of someone else. His neck turned completely red. He was about to die, but survived. Well, the boat stopped due to the rope getting tangled in the fan, but that was still not enough. The large boat still collides with his boat, causing a severe jolt, and he falls down and loses consciousness. He now has an injury to his head. When John regains consciousness, he sees that water is filling up in the bathroom, and surprisingly, it wasn't seawater, but clean water. This meant there was someone trying to scare him and kill him. He begs once more, "Whoever you are, please let me go," but no one was listening to him. He was also feeling hungry and thirsty. His strength had diminished. To drink water, he tries to use the washroom noise and sees that the water has run out. When he started drinking water that he lifted from the floor, he realized that it was now salty. It was seawater, and he understood that there was a hole in his boat. There was a leak through which seawater was entering the boat, and it would soon sink. He tried again to open the door, but it seemed that someone had locked it from the outside. It was already night, and when the view above the boat was shown, it became clear that there was someone invisible steering the boat. In the distance, there was an evil spirit that had filled the boat with water, and in this shock, John fell asleep. As night fell, the storm caused significant damage to the boat, and John was also injured. When he opened his eyes, the water level level had risen so much that only his face was above water. He had accepted that he would die in a short while, but then he heard a clicking sound. As he turned the handle, the door opened. Due to the pressure of the water, the door broke and fell outward, allowing him to escape. He first went up onto the boat and breathed in fresh air because the oxygen level below had dropped significantly. He now knew that whoever was here wanted to torture him at all costs. Therefore, he decided that he would not stay here. An idea came to his mind. He took the airbags from the boat and, using the broken bathroom door, tied everything together to make a small raft so that he could escape with it. But there were some other necessities as well. How would he operate this raft? He arranged everything from this big boat, including food and drink, and then he got off the boat. Finally, he was on his raft. As he paddled slowly and laboriously forward, the big boat stood right in front of him. Hours passed and he couldn't travel much, realizing that the boat was still standing, which he thought would sink in 5 to 10 minutes. If it hadn't sunk yet, it meant it wouldn't sink. Thinking this, it occurred to him that why not go and fix the leak in this boat? With this thought, he returned to the boat. He first fixed the leak and then made a pump that easily expelled all the seawater from the boat. After eliminating the leak and removing the water, he fixed all the problems in the boat and repaired it from the outside as well. To avoid any problems during the journey, after doing all this, he tried to call for help via radio again, but when he received no response, he came up onto the boat. He was safe there. He tried to find a way again and operated the boat, but once again, the boat betrayed him and soon became completely still. It had stopped in the water, which stressed him out. Now he was completely stuck. Meanwhile, he saw another boat in the distance and quickly decided to use his small raft to get to that other boat for safety. As he set out with his raft, the boat suddenly caught fire and began to chase him so quickly that he felt it would crush him. He increased his speed, but it was of no use because the big boat had also increased its speed. It collided with the previous boat. He decided to jump off his raft and swim to the other boat, but by then, the other boat had already left, and seeing this, he realized that something was wrong with this boat that was preventing him from moving away from it. He had decided that even if he had to die in the water, he would not go back to that boat. By evening, he was still swimming in the water, but the water temperature had dropped significantly. It was very cold, and there were dolphins below. To escape the cold, he returned to the boat. His health had deteriorated so much that he didn't think twice and went to get a blanket and fell asleep in his room. When he woke up in the morning, he decided to try to get out of here again, but now the door to his room was also locked. He became extremely frustrated. He couldn't understand what was happening to him. Then he noticed a small cabin here. Upon opening it, he saw that there was a way up, a skylight through which he could escape. He now entered that cabin. The space was very small. In fact, it was a storage area. Every time he tried to climb up through the storage area, he fell down. He sustained several injuries, but he didn't give up and tried to climb up again to open the skylight, but it wouldn't open at all. It felt as if it was sealed shut. The oxygen level in this place had also dropped significantly. The cabin door was also not opening, preventing him from going back to the room. He had once again accepted that he would die. Before he could succumb to the lack of oxygen, he lost consciousness. A clicking sound came again, and the cabin opened. As soon as the cabin opened, he immediately came out of the boat, where he saw that the boat was approaching a small island, and this sight gave him hope. He took a breath of relief, thinking that he would finally be free from this terrible boat. As soon as it reached the shore of the island, John quickly got off the boat. He felt that there was someone on this island controlling the boat and torturing him. He picked up a stick to teach that person a lesson. But as he explored the island, he was shocked to find that there was no sign of human life. He became distressed once again. When he emerged from the island, a new trouble troubled him. The boat that had brought him here was now moving in front of him again, as if it were going to find another prey. Seeing this, John became 100% certain that the control of that boat and this island was 100% in the hands of some evil force. He had to get out of here. He had a life to live. While investigating, he climbed to the highest point of the island and saw another island nearby. He couldn't see what was happening there. As he wandered around, he ended up on the backside of the island, where he was shocked to find that this was the same place where John had started his journey at the beginning of the movie, and his boat was tied up here just like before. Now, there were people in this place just like before. It seemed as if nothing had happened. John saw everything. It could have been a bad dream, but all of this had actually happened to John. Who had brought his boat here, and what was the reality of this island? The movie does not reveal what was behind what happened to John, and it ends with these questions.